Yo, what's up, everybody? Super Ninja Austin here again. This is the 77th episode of the SNA podcast, and this is the wrestling news video, part 17. Let's begin. And we're going to be talking about the latest and wildest wrestling news stories and rumors that y'all need to know. And we're going to be talking about that on the wrestling news article on Fightful. Yeah, let's begin. We're going to start off here today with some more NXT and AEW war news now is because Chris Jericho's opinion, Chris Jericho and NXT shouldn't get too far up its own ass. They didn't crush AEW in our show, and our show better. Our show was better. Yeah, our show was better. My apology for missing the was on this word on Jericho's opinion. And it says right here from Chris Jericho, it said Chris Jericho weighs in on AEW versus NXT on October 10th. AEW and NXT went head to head once again with AEW Dynamite moving on Tuesdays due to MLB playoffs, and that's why I figured that was the case because the playoffs was on like all Wednesday, like on TBS and I believe on Fox as well. But anyways, this is where it says NXT loaded up the show with Cody Rhodes, The Undertaker, and John Cena and Asuka. And more. AEW ran matches featuring Chris Jericho, Orange Cassidy, Adam Copeland, the former Edge, Bryan Danielson, and more. NXT won the night in the total viewers and in the demo. Speaking to the Messenger, Chris Jericho weighed in on NXT's victory, said, you can only bring in Cena and The Undertaker and Cody and everybody else so much because nobody wants to work on their secondary show all the time, and it was a fun little hey, F you, AEW. I didn't even really worried about it. I told Tony, well, if you want to fire back to bring in Shaq and Snoop Dogg and those type of guys, Mike Tyson, but Tony didn't do that. We rely on our show and our guys and girls, our guys and our girls, and that's the way it's always been for us. This would be like a football game where you bring in all of our top stars from years prior and beat the other team 30 to 26. It's like a video. It's like a video game. It's like a video game. Let's bring in Tom Brady from 5 years ago, and then play him for one game against Chris Jericho. Okay, you guys won, but you only won 30 to 26. He said. Jericho closed by saying, so don't get too far up your ass because you didn't do that good of a job as far as crushing us, and our show was better than theirs, quite yeah, quite frankly. So it doesn't bother me. It's com it's compete it's competition, man. I mean, not compete. It's competition, man. That's the competition. Competition, man. It's competition, man. It's good for the fans. It's good for the companies. Jer- Good for the companies. Jericho was squashed by Powerhouse Hobbs on the October 10th episode of AEW Dynamite, which was Title Tuesday. Jericho was squashed by Powerhouse. Oh no, I said that. In a separate interview, Jericho commented on Tony Khan's social media use. You can, well, yeah, I heard about that from an interview that what Jericho thought about that. I'm not sure. I'm not remember what exactly he said, but he was like he's a. Oh yeah, that's right. Slatrock said it last night. He was like he's a boss, but also at the end of the day, he's a billionaire, and I work with plenty of billionaires from for 20 years in my career. And then one of them referencing, which was referring to Vince McMahon, but yeah, like at the end of the day, like billionaires are gonna be tweeting about plenty of things that's on their mind, especially on what they're like the CEO or president of, like a Donald Trump, for an example. And I'm not trying to bring no political stuff, but you've seen him a few years ago tweeting everything away and not thinking about and being smart and mature first before he started tweeting anything that's on his mind. And also that's what Tony Khan's. That's what he's in that phase right now, and he's what's it called? He's being, and then that's what maybe what Tony Khan is doing right now, and maybe he should do exactly like Donald Trump. He should think before he start tweeting something away. And if he does tweet something, it should be more professional, like in the matter. But anyways, what do y'all think about Chris Jericho thinking AEW still a better show despite beating them by only a couple 100,000 viewers? Then beat them over a couple 100,000 views. Y'all let me know down in the comments below. And then he's pointing out the reason why they beat him. Maybe it's probably 50% true, at least. Like that is because of the main roster wrestlers and the legendary wrestlers, and also, but it's also the wrestlers putting on the great matches, like Carmelo Hayes against Carmelo Hayes against what's his name? Braun Breaker. Roxanne Perez against Asuka. Even though Asuka's on the main roster now, but she still put on a great effort trying to break her undefeated NXT streak, which she unsuccessfully did, but she did look good in defeat, and many more matches that was on. And let me know what was other good matches in the comment section down below. I kind of forgot what exact. Oh yeah, it was what's his name? Ilya Dragunov defended his NXT championship against Dominic Mysterio with LA Knight as the special guest referee, which that was a great match itself as well. And yeah, and I'm gonna let you guys be the judge about that in the comment section down below about Jericho's comments about AEW Dynamite in any AEW shows better than and NXT. And then he's making a comparison of bringing back Tom Brady in football and barely beating the other football team into by 4 points. But yeah, which I'll say that I agree on that analogy, the way he used that with Tom Brady, because he would probably barely win a match, but whether if it's a football game nowadays, whether if it's a field goal or over a field goal, like a few, like 4 points, like yeah. Like got like you just don't really need him. You don't really need him just to win the game, but he's saying like you need a legend like him to win a game, which I don't. I don't think. Which I would say a football team should not need a retired quarterback just to do so. But anyway, let's move on to the next wrestling news. We got um sorry I'm taking so long. I'm trying to get this next wrestling news right now. It's taking forever to look. Okay, we got some I think some Hiroshi Tanahashi news. No, we got a Ibuki Hiroshi. Ibuki Hiroshi news now as she talks with Hikaru Shida. Ibuki Hiroshi talks to Hikaru Shida, Chop winning in Ice in Xfinity title. More 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 interviews. Let's see right here. Ice Ribbon. Ice Ribbon has been one of the most popular Joshi promotions over the last decade. Some of the best wrestlers in the world have competed in the promotion, including AEW Women's World Champion Hikaru Shida and Sayori and Annual in 2023. Emmanuel, and then in 2023 they have a young group of talent making names for themselves to push Ice Ribbon into its next generation. At the lead in is reigning Ice as the reigning Ice Xfinity champion, Ibuki Hiroshi or Hoshi. Ibuki Hoshi, that's what her name is. Ibuki Hoshi. Hoshi. Hoshi Hoshi is one of the best young wrestlers in the world as at 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 just age of 20 she was able to capture the top title of Ice Ribbon. And it says right here this weekend she will be challenged for the International Ribbon Tag Team Championship with her partner uh, Kyle 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 Matsushita Matsushita. Hopefully I pronounced that right. Kyle Kyle Matsushita. Yeah, but and if she's watching right now, comment down below to tell me if I got it right. But or any of you fans, of course, in that matter. But anyways, ahead of that title challenge, Fightful's Scott Edwards had a chance to interview the reigning Xfinity champion. Here's what Ibuki Hoshi had to say. She said, "You've been wrestling since you were 14 years old, and are essentially a veteran at 20 years old. While you're still so young, yet you wrestled so much. Do you feel like a veteran or do you still feel as as though uh, as though you're just getting started?" Like, and, and she was like, "I don't know, considered myself a veteran because there's still such that's so much that I haven't learned. You you have the loudest chops in 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 Joshi, who taught you how to chop." And then she said, in the beginning, Saka's 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 Kasa Fujimoto said to try using chops if my shoulders were in pain. When I tried to try it, doing doing it, my chops ended up being that way. Also, I watched a lot of Kenta Koda, Kobashi, Kenta and Kobashi videos, and he said right here, takes a couple of years, a couple of years, like a a book a Buki sustained a shoulder injury that caused her to be unable to do throw forearm strikes. At the at what point did you know you wanted to join your your mom in Ice Ribbon? And she said, I never thought of joining to be with my mom. I wanted to debut as a pro wrestler, and Ice Ribbon was the promotion what I chose. And he's like, of course, there's been lot of challenges, a lot of challenge in Ice Ribbon over the last few years. Have the challenge have the Has the changes made you want to step up more for the promotion? Have you felt any added added pressure as one of one of the key uh, com- competitors of Ice Ribbon moving forward? And she said, I did feel that I needed to protect Ice Ribbon. There is pressure, but if if everyone works together, then people can see that Ice Ribbon is a wonderful promotion. In 2022, you won tag team, and he's like, in 2022 you won tag team gold with Hikaru Shida. What did you learn from Sheeta as a partner and as an opponent? Do you hope to face her again? And she said, I really learned a lot from her. If it weren't for for the single and tag team matches with Hikaru Shida. Ibuki Hoshi wouldn't be where she is today, wearing the belt along with Hikaru Shida. Hikaru Shida gave me confidence, but she is still my rival. I see her as a wrestler that I have to defeat. You got to take part in Saka in Sakasa Sakasa few in few Jimotos. I hope I pronounced that right. Hey Takashi, what's up? How you doing today? Good to see you in the comments. But anyways, with her in the single day return to wrestling. You also teamed with her in one of her final matches at the Yokohama but Donkin but Budokan Yokohama but Budokan in 2022. What what has what has she meant to your career? And this is where she said, "I I knew I know Tezuka before I ever started wrestling. I'm now really surprised to be standing next to her as the pro wrestler Ibuki Ibuki Hoshi. Are there any wrestlers that you haven't had the chance to face yet in singles match that you'd like to in the future, like in Seri Seri in the two times that I fought in series,